Starting off with the reading minutes from the last meeting.
Our last meeting was August 12th, 2024. The meeting started at 7:09. June minutes were read, minutes were approved. For old business, lighting at the park was done. Alley electrical and the double thing for Bono electric and turned on. Bill for the dumpster had not yet been received. Not a lot of participation for the dumpsters. Dumpsters were left for extra days, and we were unsure why. Plumber was coming out for Ball Diamond, hopefully that Friday, and Tom, we're going to contact Ally to set up electrical at the Ball Diamond. New business, Caitlin was working on getting the town insurance. She's also applying for asbestos removal for the school. We changed the meeting for September to the 23rd, and it was going to be put in the paper and on Facebook. I met with Catherine Stockoff to create the budget, and I was creating a fund for Parks and Rec on the budget so we can show the budget for the Ball Diamond. There was a back-to-school event at the park, but there wasn't much participation. The Historical Society was going to do a tent for Covered Bridge, and then I passed around bills for signature, as well as the 6-month ledger and accounts payable register. Caitlin motion to close the meeting, Abby seconded, and the meeting was closed at 7:33.
All right, everyone, you've heard the reading of the minutes of the August meeting. If there are no additions or corrections, they'll be approved as read. Hearing none, they're approved. We'll go on to old business. Starting with, I did meet with Alley Electrical at the Ball Diamond. They went around, looked, he took everything, that was Jason himself that showed up. Looking at everything they have, that we have, there's some good features, there's a lot that needs to be replaced, redone, etc. In handling everything, he would be doing all of it at cost for the equipment. We'd only be paying really for his labor and bucket truck and that, replacing all the field lighting, redoing the electrical, new breaker box inside because it's completely underpowered what's in there, and security lighting. We're looking at a total of $18,700. Which is an exceptional amount. I was expecting something more toward double that. So if they're going to be able to do this, I'm not sure the timing, but it would be completed before spring, before we move the facility. All right. So I'll bring it up again under new business. As far as the water is concerned, that was a lot of question marks. I got to get somebody else out there to help me out because there's no shut off. We don't even know where the water's going in. Now currently there's no hot water supplied to the bathrooms, only to the kitchen. I did research statute, and according to Indiana state law, you do not need hot water in a public restroom. So we're covered as far as that's concerned. So we don't have to worry about that. There's no extra expense with that. As long as there's hot water supplied to a food facility, everything else is good. So we're covered there. And I'm going to keep working on seeing what I can get done. I'm going to look for other input as far as what direction we can go with this. Because right now, the only way to turn on the water or turn it off is at the meter base up on the road. I did find that, but it doesn't do us a lot of good right now because we don't own the water anymore. Used to be not a problem when we owned the water, but now we don't. So that'll be something I'll keep working on. We were talking about a fence for the park, a perimeter fence. Our wonderful park board did come up with a quote, an estimate of $44.91, which again, for a perimeter fence like that, not a bad deal. They are attempting grant money. If they can't cover it all, I'm certain we have funds enough with the lighting not going in as hard as it was. We should have enough funds to cover whatever shortfalls are going with that. And I'll revisit the idea of new business also. Is there any other old business? Okay.
Sorry. So originally when I was speaking with Kyle Jacks regarding the insurance, I have went a new avenue on that. I don't know that I've necessarily given up on him, but I've contacted somebody else regarding that, so she's working on that for me. Because I can't do it through my employment. So I'm still working. I did speak with Cindy Todd on the asbestos removal for the school. So she introduced me to Indiana Brownfield Group, which I think that's what their name is.
Yes.
Okay, she said that they've helped with funding many times in the past. She said that there would be a phase one, which would be the identifying of if there is toxic material inside there. She said that basically the funds that they have available are tied up until October 2025. So if we would like an application or for them to go ahead and submit that we are interested, that they would do that. I'm going to pull this up really quickly. But that basically we have to wait a year before they can come to me. I told her that we would, to go ahead and say that yes, we are interested in getting an application submitted. Andrea Robertson will be my contact through them. So this year obligated until October 2025. We won't know if we can fund any new sites until the others close. If the town can wait a year, then we can probably assist. Let me know if this is acceptable and I can send an application to be completed. And so I messaged her back and said that we would appreciate that if she could get it to us.
Now, is it coming physical or is it going to be something electronic?
I assume it will be electronic, but this was September 9th is when my last email to her was that I would be, they know that we would be grateful if she gave us an application, and I have not heard back from her yet.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
I also talked to Cindy months ago, well, actually right after the fire, and she said Caitlin had contacted her. We also discussed the fact that if you want to wait, which you're going to have to wait, I don't see how you have any other choice, because you're not going to get anybody else in there. The possibility of maybe going ahead and pursuing bids for removal, so that way, once that comes in, and if the brownfield grant goes through, and that's when we'd be ready to go. But she wasn't sure you would want to proceed.
As far as
obtaining bids to see what it was going to cost to remove it all.
Oh, okay.
And so,
I worked with a couple of years ago, Heritage Remediation, I know they're in the area. I'm not certain if there's anybody else that does asbestos remediation.
well, no, we're not talking about the asbestos, because that will have to go through Brownfield, and I assume they have people to do that.
Yeah.
We're talking about once the asbestos is gone, getting bids to take everything else out,
Yes.
so that we would be ready to go. So she didn't know if you would want to go ahead and proceed, and we could start maybe acquiring bids, and then once that asbestos is gone, then they'd be ready to move and get that on. So if it's okay with you guys, then I can tell her. We had talked about it.
Please.
I
Oh,
didn't
no.
know you contacted. But she
Yeah.
said she had contacted you, and she hadn't heard back from you at that time, which I think we probably didn't discuss yet.
Well, part of the reason too was because I made the mistake of not replying all. So when I replied and said, yes, we would be interested, I only replied to Andrea.
Okay, yeah, she wasn't sure whether you wanted to go forward when I was.
Okay, yeah. Well, and if it was between September 6th is when she sent the initial email, and then September 9th was when Andrea responded. And so then I had responded. So if it was between the 6th and the 9th, then maybe it was before I had responded.
Probably. No, we had just discussed whether to get bids for removal once the asbestos is gone. And she said to just check to see if the town wanted to proceed and go
Well,
ahead.
the main thing would be, just to get interest, if anyone's actually interested in doing the job.
Yeah, and I talked to a couple of guys I know, and they were interested, but, you know, nobody had any idea that they could actually do that, or, you know, what was going on at the time.
Yeah,
So, you know, I can talk to Cindy and see if she has anybody, and we can,
that'd be perfect.
and just.
That'd be excellent.
Yes,
Any help when when that's concerned,
Yeah,
would be great.
because, I mean, there's no doubt you're gonna have to wait a year. I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully the
And any
brown.
bid now would be binding anyway,
Yeah,
but at least it would give us a ballpark.
yeah.
Something,
An idea of what it was gonna take.
right, so what to anticipate.
Right, okay.
Any other old? Okay. Any new business?
Caitlin received it and forwarded it to me from Duke Energy about a rebate program to replace Cobra roadway fixtures to LED. I've got all of it attached to what the numbers would break down to, if it's something you guys want to do.
So this is
That's
us-
the email, and then the next couple pages are the attachments that they sent with it.
So, so to save $160, we need to give them $18,000. Not quite certain that's in our best interest. Thank you for presenting that.
I brought it.
Yeah, I feel like we have other priorities.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, we'll go ahead and, with everybody else's permission, go ahead and table that until
Okay. Sounds great.
sometime might seem a bit feasible. But thank you. Now, as far as the lighting, I've got it buttoned down right now. If there's a motion that we go ahead with the lighting, I will. We've already got the consent of the park board, they're all in on it. So,
Sounds great. Yep.
okay, we'll go ahead and get that done. I will talk to Jason tomorrow then. The fence for the little park, which seems really big, but it's our park. So, are we good with the fence?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely need it.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go ahead, we'll go with that too.
Okay.
You want me to, I have, our softball tournament went really well. We started out with 10 teams, we ended up with 6 or 7, I believe. But everybody was excited, they were excited to see the ball lineup opening back up. We were already in discussion with the guys about, and I hate slow pitch softball, but it is what it is. But some of the older guys played, and they have decided that there will be 2 separate leagues, 40 and under and 40 and over, because they don't want to play with those young kids and take a chance of getting hurt. So we survived the day with, I think, maybe a pulled hamstring, and I think that was about it. So we were very fortunate, and it was so hot. But anyway, it went really well. Everybody's excited about it. Montezuma and Rosedale's already consented about bringing games to us because they think they don't have enough room with their 3 or 4 diamonds that they have. But anyway, we raised $1,024.25 where we got the 25 cents. Plus we have $300 in donations, and we have 2 checks in here. So we are happy to present that to the park board. And next year we will be having a league up there, so there'll be a lot more going on and we're working on some other things.
Excellent, excellent.
Did you guys do any kind of concessions up there?
We did do a concession, we took Brad's concession trailer up there.
Oh, okay.
And used it and done concessions out of that. So
Okay.
next year, we've also talked about possibly coming to you guys and, you know, we're assuming this stuff will be paid out of Parke fund. We'd like to set up accounts somewhere where we can get supplies and we go through you. And then we'd also like you to consider contracting out mowing up there. And Mike, we can take over your mowing at the park a bit too, if you want us to do that. And we can mow the park, so the park's not any big deal, but it's a lot to mow
Out there's
up
a
there.
lot, yeah.
And our neighbor, I don't know who he is, that lives down the lane, if he would see our guys over there, he'd go home and get his mower and he'd come over and help. So we appreciated that. I have no idea who he is, but he said he didn't have anything to do, but I don't think he'd want to do it all the time. So we talked about possibly contracting that out. And most people, they don't have the mowers to do that kind of job.
Right.
You know, and weed eaters and that kind of stuff. 'Cause it's a big job to keep.
Do you have anybody online to be able to do something like that?
We had, Stuffers came and mowed it right before the tournament for us for $50, just as a donation.
Mhm.
We just don't pay them. But, we talked to a guy in town, he mows, but I don't know that he's got the equipment, and he said he wanted $8,000 to mow that park. So I thought that was a little
Is that
steep.
professional?
No, he's not a professional.
Okay.
No, he just mows, and I thought, well, you know, he's local, and maybe he, you know.
I mean, I've got a couple of professional outfits that I deal with.
Okay,
I
yeah,
can-
it's up
I
to you
can shoot
guys
fast.
who you want to use, and I assume that you would have to bid it out anyway because you're a town, so then you could take the lower bid or whatever. But, and it's nothing, you know, we need to do right now, but we just thought we'd kind of let you
It's
know.
something to prepare for, because everybody that's got a business like that right now, they're lining up their entire year for next year.
Well, yeah, that's
Right
true.
now.
That's true.
So it'd be something that we would want
So you might want
to look
to
into.
advertise for bids or.
Yeah, I know settlers would be doing everything that as well.
Yeah, I think there are several companies around that do that, but it's just a big job, and most people don't have mowers big enough to,
Yeah.
you know, you spend hours up there, and it's just a big job. So, but we're moving on, now we're going to get our fence up there. And,
Excellent.
yeah.
Appreciate that. You're up.
So this is just the public meeting, we don't approve anything tonight for this, but this is what I work with Catherine on for our budgets for next year. If you go to the third, front of the third page, at the bottom, that's what it's about a 15% increase from last year, just based on what was going out. But other than that, not a lot has changed. But I wanted to give you a little that so you can see it and then think about it, look at it. It's not for change it, approve it, whatever. If there's going to be a potential attorney, and knowing how much that's going to cost every year might be helpful too, just to make sure that we budget for that.
we also need to, at least initially, make a line item for parking. Because at this point, without any proof of it, we can't assume revenue.
Right,
So we need to be able to cover that.
because we have a fund, a Parks and Rec fund, so,
Yeah,
so I guess my question is, I assume everything's going to come out of that fund, so, because right now I don't even have that, and nothing really goes in or out of that, so this is just the stuff that tends to come in and out.
we need to make a line item so that something can go into it from us until they're self-sustaining.
Okay, so I'll just go through and I'll go ahead and make a news, like, go ahead and put the Parks and Rec fund on here.
Yes,
And then you can budget for that.
yes.
Okay.
Because I mean, I'm loving the direction we're going. And I appreciate the efforts, but we can't assume success until we see success. All right. So we can't assume that it's going to be self-sustaining until it actually is. And we need to cover for that until such time. No offense.
No,
I just don't want to get stuck.
With that, you have like a specific number
I'm
in mind.
about 7. I was throwing figures together, and operational should be about that. And then once, with the understanding that once they become self-sufficient, then the town's contribution can be cut back once they become more self-sufficient. Because that was always the goal. Okay? All right. Is there any input? Anybody have anything to say about budgeting or how things have been going so far? Okay, we're good. Excellent. Move on with that. Do you have anything else from?
Anything else for you guys to sign on bills? I'll let them.
Our favorite part. Okay. Does anybody have anything? Anybody else?
I have something.
Okay.
Are you going to discuss the rack issue so John can have it on his thing and I can put it in the paper so these people don't go crazy anymore?
Okay. The red thing. I've contacted the corporate offices of the American, let them know about the issue, gave them opportunity. But the main thing about all this is that that property is not in our jurisdiction. It is not the town of Mecca. That's county. We've let county know what's going on, and there wasn't a whole lot of interest in anything else. So if anybody wants to give county a heads up as far as their own personal complaints about the situation, provided they have more than just hearsay. I've gone there and down there a couple of times and not personally seen the issue. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, and I did act accordingly on the complaints. But anybody would like to contact the health department about the situation, that'd be the next course for any citizen that has any personal information, anecdotal or otherwise, that they know this is still a problem and has not been resolved. That would be the next course of action.
Just being, or just putting a little bit in there, maybe to squash some of the rumors, obviously, too, is that I think that people are under the impression that they came in on the container, and I think that they were there, from what I understand, they were there before the container. I also think that, obviously, speaking with people, like, if they don't have a food source, that they're not going to be able to survive. And so I don't know if that they've been on that specific property for however long they've been there because they had a food source and now that food source is exhausted. So they're, branching out. I mean, as far as myself and I feel like other property owners in the town, to protect themselves and their property, obviously to use baiting and traps and, take on those kind of measures. Because we're not getting what we want to out of who should be responsible for at least that particular property in town. I feel like people, if they can and are willing to clean up some of their properties to obviously eliminate other food sources that they might find away from that property, would also be a great idea to keep them basically so they will starve and not be able to survive here.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing it up. Oh.
Did I miss it?
It's all right.
Thank you.
And that's the important one that we need to sign. U.S. Treasury doesn't get their money.
Oh, I know.
Somebody says bad things. All right, excellent.
Do you have your address?
Your turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get it in there.
Yeah. I let Tom know, and I let the girls know that I am resigning from the town board. This will be my last meeting, and I have appreciated everything and love being a part of the town. I do not have the time or enough stress level to give anymore.
We appreciate the effort and what you've done, because you've been a great help.
Which I do need your email to send.
She needs Crystal's email.
Oh, actually, I have
Yes.
an email.
Oh, do you? Whoa.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I have to.
To forward some items stuff, so you can see it if you haven't seen it. I did actually find it in my email. I have too many emails.
Has anything become about property over there or nothing?
Nothing new. I feel like we try, call, and follow-ups happen, and that's it. There's no follow through.
Enforcement.
Yes, true enforcement.
I'll find out also. Is that
Yeah.
okay? No.
Do you?
Mhm.
Okay,
We got an email and that guy.
yeah.
That is this book.
But I'll show you the formal complaint form and all of that stuff. So you can have it and,
No, nobody else has that, so
okay.
darn it. Because it's not supposed to exist.
Yeah, obviously we did not know.
Every single thing I did goes straight to you.
Yeah, so if he contacts me again, then I'll forward it.
Okay.
I'm sure he already talks to you though.
No,
No?
nobody
Okay.
has talked to me.
Okay.
My guy has talked to me, but only after I alerted him what's going on.
Okay.
So, but I'll come and pay her inside.
It does look better.
You know, where it's all going, I don't know, they're loading the trucks at night.
I'm sure it's done the right way, but it does look a little bit better.
You know, whose property is going to have a clue? But anyway, thank you.
Thanks, Abby.
Is there anything else?
If she's resigning, what's gonna happen after that?
We're going to have another empty spot.
This one needs
I
to
mean, can you conduct meetings then without
Yeah.
her?
Yeah, because then basically a quorum at this point will be one of us. At this point.
Conduct meetings without what?
She's gonna resign,
Oh,
and so there'll just be,
Us too.
yeah.
those two.
So there's currently a couple of vacancies that need to be filled, if you guys know of anyone.
I
Yeah,
don't want it. I'm about to get out of the one I have, I don't want another one.
anyway. Yeah, we have a couple vacancies. Opportunities is what we have. A couple opportunities to help out. We'd appreciate it. Anything else? I'm closed?
Falling apart, Yeah, I motion to close the meeting.
Okay. All right, the motion second closed. Thank you, everybody, for being here.